Hello my dear students, welcome back. Myself teacher Parul. In this video, we are going to see a new lesson in the science, that is chapter 1, matter in our surroundings. Part 1. So my dear students, let us begin with our new chapter, that is matter in our surroundings. So let us begin with that. So, the topics which will be covered in this video are introduction to matter, physical nature of matter, and characteristics of particles of matter. So, let us see all these topics one by one in detail. As we all know that our chapter is all about matter and its surrounding. So firstly, it is very important that we should know that what actually is this matter. Okay, so matter is any substance that has mass and it occupies space is called matter. Okay, any substance which has mass. Okay, mass means like any substance, okay, which is kept. You can tell a group of people or a single people. Okay, so any substance that has mass and which is occupying the space is called matter. Okay, that is known as matter. Now everything in this universe is made up of materials which scientists has named its matter, because every substance in this universe will occupy space and it will have mass. Okay, so anything in this universe is made up of materials which scientists has named matter. Okay, the matter is made up of very small, very tiny particles. Okay, it is not continuous but it is particulate. The matter is anything that occupies space and it has mass, which I have already told you. Okay, so the matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Particles of matter have space between them and are continuously moving. Okay, the particles are there in any of the matter. Okay, it will have space between them and that particles will be continuously moving. So particles of matter, they attract each other. So this was all about the introductory part of the matter. Now let us learn about more about this matter in detail. So my dear students, let us begin with that. So matter has three states. Okay, matter has three states, that is solids, liquids and gases. So the very first is the solid. Now from lower standards only you are learning solids, liquids and gases, right? Okay, so let us learn about them in more detail. Okay, so solids, they are strong intermolecular force and very less intermolecular space. Okay, they have very strong intermolecular force but they have very less intermolecular space. Okay, why this is so? Why they have strong molecular force but there is lack of space? Because in solid the molecules are closely arranged. Okay, as you can see in the image, the particles are closely arranged as it is solid. Something is solid. For example, we will take stone. Okay, stone, as you all know that stone, it is solid and the particles of the stone are closely packed. Okay, so they have a strong intermolecular force and they have very less space between them. Okay, so less space between them. They have definite shape and volume. Okay, they have definite shape and volume. Okay, they will have a particular shape. Now for example, we will take an example of a ball. Okay, which usually small kids play. Okay, so ball, it is round in shape, it is solid, right? So it has particular shape. Which shape it has? It has a circular space, circle, it is circle. Okay, and it has volume, right? Okay, and then high density, melting point and boiling point. Okay, it has high density, it has melting point and even it has the boiling point. So the question arises that what is density, what is melting point and what is the boiling point? Okay, so density. So So density means how much space an object or a substance takes up. Okay, how much space an object or any substance that takes up in the relation to the amount of the matter in that object or substance. Okay, that is the density. Okay, now melting point. Any substance which starts melting, okay, which start melting, okay, at that temperature, at that point is the melting point. Okay, boiling point. If any substance starts boiling, okay, we can take example of water. Okay, now see, I have kept water, a pan of water in a gas stove. Okay, now first the water, it will start get heating. Okay, and the point will come that the bubbles will come out from the water. So what it means, the water has start boiling. So the initial point when the bubbles come out, that is the boiling point of water. At that time the boiling of the water starts, so that is the boiling point of the water. Okay, so these solids, they have high density, they have melting point, they have boiling point. Okay, so solids cannot be compressed. Okay, we can't compress solids. Okay, solids cannot flow. Okay, now the next matter is the liquid. Now liquids, as we all know, many examples of liquid: oil, juices, water, right? Various types of the liquid, chemicals. Okay, so all these things comes under liquids. So they have weak intermolecular force and they have large molecular space. Now in liquids, the molecules have space between them, they have gaps between them, as they are in the form of the liquid. Okay, so they have weak intermolecular force, they have large intermolecular space. The intermolecular, the space between the molecular, that is the intermolecular space. Okay, so they have weak intermolecular force is weak because they are not close together, and they have space between them as they are far away from each other. Okay, molecules which are present, you can see in the image the circle particles or molecules. Okay, liquids, they do not have, they don't have any definite shape, but they have definite volume. Okay, liquids, now they don't have any shape. Now if any liquid, if you will put in a circular bowl, it will take the shape of that. If you will keep in a frying pan, the liquid will take the shape of that. Okay, so in whatever you are keeping, they will take that shape. So what it means, that liquid doesn't have definite shape. Okay, but they have definite volume, they have weight. Okay, they have weight, so they have definite volume. Now the liquids, their density is low, they have low melting point and boiling point. Okay, their density is low, they have low melting and boiling point. Now liquids can be compressed. Okay, we can compress liquid and liquids can flow, as you can see in the figure below. Okay, liquids, they can flow. Now the last matter is the gaseous. Okay, from the name itself we can indicate that it is a gas. Okay, so gas, they have very weak intermolecular space because the particles, the molecules, they are very far away from each other. Okay, they are very far away from each other, so they have very weak intermolecular space force, they have very large intermolecular space between them. Okay, they don't have any definite shape, they don't, and volume. Okay, their volume is also not there, and they don't have any definite shape. The density is low, the density is also very low. Gases are highly compressible, gases can flow. Okay, gases can be highly compressible, we can compress it, and we can make something new from it. Okay, so gases are highly compressible and gases can flow. Okay, so I think all the three are clear to you. Now matter is any substance that has mass and which occupies space. Okay, there are three states of matter, that is the solids, liquids and the gases, and all the three you have seen. I hope till here it is clear to you. Now let us move ahead with the new topic. Now let us see about the physical nature of matter. Okay, So a physical property is that aspect of the matter that can be observed or measured without changing its nature or composition. Okay, physical nature of matter is the aspect of the matter that can be observed or measured. Okay, that can be, we can observe it or we can measure without changing its nature or composition. Okay, we can't change its nature or we can't change its composition, how much it is there. Okay, now it is independent of the amount of matter present. Okay, it is independent, whatever amount of matter is present, it is independent. Okay, physical properties of matter includes its appearance. Okay, physical property means how it looks, what will be the color, okay, when you will touch, how it feels. Okay, so all the things come under the physical properties. So physical properties includes its appearance, its color, its odor means a smell, which type of a smell, it is good, it is bad, it is dirty, it is stinging, okay, it is sweet, whatever. Okay, so odor, density, the texture. Okay, density I've already explained you. Texture means when you touch, how it feels, the melting point, boiling point, which I have already explained you. Solubility means if you are adding in the whatever the substance is there, if you are adding in water, if you are adding in another things, so if it is soluble or not. Okay, so that is the solubility, it gets dissolved or not, what happens to that. Okay, so that is the solubility test. Okay, so this was all about the physical nature of the matter. Now let us move ahead. Atomic view of the three states of the matter. Okay, so the first one, atomic view. Now how's the atom, how the molecules are there in the three states. So first is the solid, any solid substances, the molecules are arranged closely. See how it is, they are packed closely. Okay, first one was the solid, the next that another on the down is the liquid. The molecules are there but they are not too closely, they are little bit far away, and the space, intermolecular space is also there in the liquids. Okay, see both the diagram, the first one is the solid, it is closely packed, it doesn't have space, right? Okay, but the liquid, it have little bit space. Now the gaseous, see in gaseous the molecules are far away from each other, it has lot of space in between. Okay, intermolecular force is also very less. So I hope you have understood clear. Now let us study about the characteristics of particles of matter. Okay, now we will see the characteristics of the particles which are present inside the matter, whether it is solid, liquid or gas. Okay, so firstly we will have a quick recap on what is matter. Okay, so matter is anything that has mass and which occupies space, which we have already learned. Okay, now everything that we can touch, see, hear, taste and smell is matter. Okay, everything which we can touch, we can see, we can hear, we can taste and also we can smell, that is the matter. Okay, now matter, it is made up of really small tiny particles which cannot be seen through our eye. Okay, now matter, there are very small tiny particles which we can't see with our naked eye, for that we need microscope. Okay, so now this introduction to matter we have already seen. Now one more time we have revised it. Now let us move to the characteristics of matter. So the first characteristics is particles have space between them. Okay, so there are small voids between every particle in the matter. Okay, there are small gaps between the particles of the matter. This characteristic is the concept behind the solubility of the substance in other substances. Okay, this characteristics is the concept behind the solubility of one substance in the another. Okay, two substance when they are mixed up. Okay, so this is the concept there. So let's try to understand this with an illustration. Okay, so we will take one illustration, we will take one example to understand the particles which have space between them. Okay, so take a glass of water, put a teaspoon of sugar or salt and mix them properly. Okay, now you will observe that the water is still clear, right? Okay, when we will take one glass of water, in that if we will add 1 teaspoon of salt or 1 teaspoon of sugar, it will get dissolved, still the water will be remain clear. This is because the particles of the salt or sugar get into the interparticle space between the water particles. Okay, now where it is they are going to the inside the particles of the water. Whatever, if you have added salt, so the particles of the salt, it will go inside the particles of the water and it will get dissolved in that, it will get mixed up. Okay, so this proves that there are voids between particles of this substance. Okay, there are voids, there are gaps between, this proves that there are gaps between the particles. Okay, so that's why only that the salt got space to go inside the water, right? And that's why we can't see, we will observe that the water is still clear. Okay, so how much gap is there, we will go on adding. Okay, so if you will add more salt or sugar, it will dissolve until all the space between the water particles get filled. Okay, so if we will add one more teaspoon of the salt or sugar, it will get dissolved, right? Okay, so if we'll add more than little bit, there will be a change in the color of the water. Again, if we will add more water or more salt or more sugar, the color will change. Okay, so what it indicates, it will show that the space, the intermolecular space is getting lessened because it is getting filled up by the salt or by the sugar. Okay, so I hope this particle has space between them is clear to you. You have understood this topic very well. Now let us move ahead with the another characteristics. The next characteristics is particles are constantly in motion or particles are continuously moving. Okay, so my dear students, for this you can also refer, for this characteristics you can also refer your textbook page number 2. Okay, all the characteristics are from your textbook only. Okay, so now let us move ahead with the next characteristics, that is particles of matter show continuous random movements. Okay, the particles which are present inside the any substance, whether it is solid, whether it is liquid, or whether it is gaseous. Okay, so particles of matter, they show continuous random movements. Okay, the kinetic energy they possess helps them in this movement. Okay, whatever kinetic energy that is there inside them, they help them in this movement. Okay, now the spreading of ink in a beaker of glass. Okay, the smell that comes from agarbattis, etc., are few illustrations that shows the movement of the particles of the substance. Okay, now the spreading of the ink in the beaker of the glass. Now we will take a clean beaker of water. Okay, in that beaker we will add a drop of ink. Okay, now the ink will start to move. Okay, now that ink also was a liquid substance, so it particles will start to move. Okay, so that the ink will spread in the water. Okay, now the another example will take of a gaseous. Okay, so the smell that comes from the agarbattis or the food which your mother is cooking. Okay, now your mother, the agarbatti, it has been kept somewhere, so but the smell, with the help of the air, the gaseous smell, the gaseous matter, it will come to you. Okay, with the help of the air. Now your mother is cooking food in the kitchen. Okay, but the smell will come to you in your, even if you are sitting in the room, if that smell is strong. Okay, it will come if you are sitting in your room also, right? If the doors are open, if the atmosphere is open, if there is a space for air to pass in, so it will come. Okay, with the help of the air, with the help of the air, it will flow and it will come. So these things were the common examples, that's why I have given you. Okay, see the smell of agarbatti, your mother cooking food. So what it indicates, that the particles are continuously moving. It proves that the particles are continuously moving, whether it is okay, the examples of we can take of gaseous. Okay, so now that proves that the particles of the there is a movement in the particles. Okay, now when the particles of two different types of matter intermix on their own, the phenomenon is called diffusion. Okay, now the particles of two different matter, any two different matters are there, and they will get intermixed with each other. Okay, so what that process, that phenomenon is known as diffusion. Okay, something is getting diffused inside it. Okay, so let us understand that also with an example. Now let us understand what is diffusion. Now in a beaker water is taken. In that I'll drop one pink color. Okay, so what will happen? It will get mixed up. So that pink color, one drop of pink color, or you can take ink, a drop of a ink, okay, whether it is blue or pink ink, okay, so it will get mixed up with the water. Okay, so the ink is getting diffused inside the water molecules. Okay, water is a liquid state of matter. Okay, and even ink is a liquid state of matter. So you can add any solid also, you can take salt also, you can take sugar also. Okay, but we are taking liquid. Okay, because we need the explanation for the diffusion. Okay, so now in that I have added one drop of ink. Now I'll stir it properly so it will get mixed up. Okay, so what has happened, inside the water the drop of the ink has been diffused itself. Okay, the drop of ink is diffused inside the water. So that was a simple process of diffusion. Okay, diffusion of particles become fast when the temperature is increased. Okay, diffusion of the particles become fast when the temperature is increased. Okay, the rise in temperature increases the kinetic energy of the particle, making them more vigorously. Okay, making them more fast. If the temperature increases, okay, it will become more fast. Okay, I hope this property is clear to you, this characteristics is clear to you. Now let us move ahead with the last characteristic of the matter. So the last characteristics of matter is particles attract each other. For this, my dear students, you can refer your textbook page number 3. Okay, so particles attract each other. Take an iron rod, a stick of chalk and a pen. Okay, we will understand this by an example, by an illustration. Okay, so take an iron rod, a stick of chalk and a pen. Try to break each one of these. Okay, we will try to break each one of these. Which one of these is easy to break? The iron rod is stronger than the other two items. Yes? Okay, what makes an item stronger? Yes, it's the particle in them which are held by the interparticle force of attraction. Okay, the particles inside the material, if the particles inside the intermolecular space is held tightly, okay, then the particles, then the whatever material will be there, it will be strong. Okay, we can't break it easily. Okay, so yes, it is the particle in them which are held by the interparticle force of attraction. So the force of attraction of iron rod is much more stronger as compared to a stick of chalk and a pen. Okay, now in every substances there is an interparticle force of attraction acting between its particle. Okay, to break something we need to overcome this force. Okay, in all the substances, okay, in all the substances there is interparticle force of attraction. Okay, now to overcome this we need to break. Okay, we need to break, so we need to overcome this force of attraction. Okay, so the strength of the force differs from substance to the another substance. Okay, the strength of the force, it depends. Okay, it depends upon the intermolecular space between them. Okay, so with that we can break, it depends upon that. So the interparticle force of attraction and the kinetic energy of the particles preliminary determine the physical state of any matter. Okay, so the interparticle force of attraction and the kinetic energy, these two things determine the physical state of any matter. Okay, so I hope this topic is clear to you, the characteristics of this is clear to you. So with this I will end this video. Okay, I will be back with another new video, new topic of this chapter. Till then, my dear students, stay safe, stay healthy, stay at home. See you all soon in the next part of the video. Till then, bye-bye.